Hi everyone, Dan Griffin here at Hoopla, and this is what we call a 5-minute tip. In other words, I'm going to teach you how to do something in Hoopla that you probably haven't seen before. In this episode, we're going to talk about how to create a link to go directly into a page which has all the content in a non-English language. So let's take a look at how you might want to do this. Now remember, you could do this because it might be something you want to put on your Twitter feed, maybe it's something you want to link to on your website, and this is a great way to link directly into that non-English language. So let's use Spanish here for our first example. So the first thing I want to do is find some Spanish content. Probably the easiest way to do that is just to search for a word like Spanish, and that'll help us find some content. So let's do that. So we'll just type Spanish here in the search box and go ahead and click enter. And then once we've done that, I want to filter my results to only show me Spanish results. And so since we've clicked that filter, all of these should have the Spanish flag set in them. Some of them are actually in Spanish, some of them teach Spanish. Doesn't really matter. All of these have the Spanish flag because they match that filter. Now, if you open up a piece of content here, what you'll see is that each piece of content has the publisher, and then it has the language that content is in. And if you click that language, it's then going to take you to a special link that says language and then has a string of numbers. So let's just do that. So we'll click Spanish. And so what you see up here in the URL is that it's hoopladigital.com/language and then a string of numbers, a question mark and name equals, and then it had the word Spanish. So that string of numbers after language is what's going to tell Hoopla what language you want all your content to be in. And then where it says name equals Spanish, that word is what's going to be used to give the page a title. And so you see here that we've got 14,000 pieces of content, several thousand ebooks, several thousand pieces of music, several hundred audiobooks. So this is a way that you could have a non-English speaker come into Hoopla already filtered for their language. So let's just click on audiobooks and we'll take a look there. So under audiobooks, we can of course sort however we want to sort. I've got it sorted by popular by default. So these are the most popular audiobooks on Hoopla. Now some of this might be learn Spanish, but quite a bit of it is going to be actual Spanish content. So for example, the first one there is a Collins 40-minute Spanish class, but then here's Buenas noches, Luna. So good night, Moon, actually in Spanish. So that's a really good, of course, very popular book for kids. Now, if we go back, I want to show you something interesting here. So I've just gone back to where we had that original language, this, and name equals Spanish. We can actually change that name to title it whatever you want to title it. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to title it Hoopla en Español. So it's typing ahead for me here because I've done this before, but I've just typed in Hoopla. I'm going to do a %20, which is how you write a space in a URL. So Hoopla in, and then %20 again, and then Español. And I'll hit enter, and what you'll see is that it will have now titled this page as Hoopla en Español. So there you have it. So we've built a, not really a collection, but maybe a portal into our Spanish content, and we've titled it Hoopla en Español. Now, if you really want to get fancy with this, we'll change that N to be an ñ, because that's really how you spell Español in Spanish, which if you know how to write if you know how to write Spanish characters, that's an Alt 241 or Alt 0241. And then you let go of the Alt key, and that'll replace that N with an ñ, and that is now Hoopla en Español, spelled correctly. So let's do that again. Let's try it with Russian this time. So again, probably the easiest way to start is by starting with the name of the language. So I'll just type in Russian, and then I'm going to choose Russian over on the left. And so I click Russian, and then it's only going to show me Russian content. I can open up any one of those and then click the language link, which will then give me that URL that says language and then a certain number string which tells Hoopla that it's in Russian, and then name equals, and in this case it's defaulted to Russian. Now again, we can choose to name that anything we want. So let's say the name of your library is Smart Public Library, and maybe I want to call this SmartPix in Russian. Maybe it would be savvier if I knew how to say something in Russian. I don't, so I'm going to call it SmartPix in Russian, or SmartPix for Russian. So I'll just do smart %20 pix %20 for %20 Russian, and that puts in your spaces, and then it's given us the title up at the top, Smart Pix for Russian. We see that we have 472 pieces of Russian content, and that's broken out by audiobooks, music, movies, and so forth. And what you see here is what I like about our Russian content is we actually have some really big names. We've got some Robert Kiyosaki, which does Rich Dad Poor Dad. We've got several Tim Ferriss books in Russian. So you see that by doing things like this and by providing portals into non-English language, it's very common to uncover really great content on Hoopla that was maybe hidden in corners that you didn't even know existed. So I hope this video helped you find some of that, and maybe will allow you to create some links that you can put out on your own website or on Twitter or Facebook to communicate to your patrons that maybe aren't necessarily looking for English content, but instead are looking for content either in their home language, or maybe they're trying to just practice another language which they've learned. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to your Hoopla coordinator. We're glad to lend you a hand. Again, I hope this was helpful. Thanks very much for watching.